The North Shore Center for the Performing Arts in Skokie is celebrating their 30th anniversary, and they want you to pull up for one of the fun performances coming up, including Michael Carbonaro with some magic on July 18th, comedian Maj Jabrani on July 19th, Grammy-nominated trumpeter Chris Botti on July 26th, Ghostbusters in concert October 7th and 8th, and the one and only legend comedian Maria Bamford October 24th. They got free parking and access from the CTA, so go on and get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Today on CityCast Chicago, CTA's new safety task force is meeting today for the first time, and in honor of National Inventions Month, you know we had to brag on Chicago. It's Tuesday, May 26th. I'm Jacoby Cochran, and this is what Chicago's talking about. We've got two amazing contributors in the building with us today. Lee John Greco, welcome back, my friend.
Hey, Jacoby. Thanks for having me.
You are one of the most visited guests in CityCast Chicago history. It's always a pleasure. We've also got one of our newest contributors in the building with us, PJ Walker. Welcome back to the podcast, my friend.
Hey, how y'all doing?
I'm doing good. I'm out here chilling. Quick question up top before we get into the stories. We are almost at the end of May. What is the best thing you did this month for yourself? Lee, you got something for me? What's the best thing you did in May for yourself?
I know that this isn't in Chicago, but I did go home to Buffalo.
Come on.
Yeah, I went there for Mother's Day, but also while the Sabres were in the playoffs, which of course, by the time you guys are hearing this, we got out. Earlier this week.
I'm sorry.
But it was fun, while it lasted. It was nice. My dad and I went down to, Canal Side, which is a downtown area, and I got so excited about meeting Sabretooth, which is the mascot of the Buffalo Sabres, that I didn't realize that Sabretooth was standing next to Jason Pominville. So Jason Pominville gets up. I ran up to Sabretooth, and he's sitting on this golf cart with Jason Pominville. And I go, oh my God, can I get a picture with him? And Pominville goes, yeah, sure. And then as I go up to the mascot, he goes, oh, okay. So that was fun. And we saw the Blade Gang, which are these guys on
that's a
skates.
Sabres. That's one of the Sabres legends for people who may not be familiar.
Yeah. For folks who don't know hockey, yeah, he was a legend when I was in high school.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
We got you, PJ. PJ was like, he sound important. Because you were supposed to know who he was. Mm-hmm. Speaking of Buffalo, the Bears did drop their schedule, and there is a better than 50% chance I am going to brave the December weather in Buffalo and go out to see the Bears.
You should go.
PJ, what is something you did for yourself in May?
Something I did for myself. It's for myself, but for the people too. I had a show last Friday. It was super fun. And I love it because I keep getting great reviews. Everyone's like, oh, it's getting better and better. You're doing so good. And it really does just take me out this I don't know, y'all, this eternal funk that's going on. Y'all feel it. And so it was good for me because I like to make people smile. And it's just nice to sometimes look out into the audience, just see all these smiling faces like, oh, yes, I did that. So that made me feel good to make other people feel good.
Come on. I love to hear that. Performing in this city is one of my absolute favorite joys. And the way it uplifts me, you say you do it for the people. I respect that. I do it mostly for me. I do it mostly for my damn self. Just like getting back from New Orleans, where I probably ate 50, 60 char-grilled oysters over the course of 5 days. And that's what I did for myself this month in celebration of my little sister's graduation. Shout out to Jessica Harris.
Oh, congrats. Shout out to all the grads.
Yeah.
Come on, shout out to all of the graduates.
Graduation season.
I'm loving it. Congrats
on all their hard work.
All right, so we got the fun part out the way. We talked about the things that made us feel good in May. And now, Lee, we are going to talk about another one of your favorite things, the CTA.
Is this my favorite thing?
You got a love-hate relationship with them a little bit.
I love to hate it. People were ragging on me on Twitter the other week because I was complaining about the 10-minute wait to get to O'Hare. And they're like, 10 minutes isn't even that bad. And I'm like, you can't even dream a whole dream, can you?
She said, have some radical imagination.
Like,
I will
just-
say, compared to, maybe some European cities, it's ass.
Yeah.
Compared to some other American cities, it ain't all that bad. I done been around. I done done quite a few of the bigger cities. Chicago
we're
gets up
supposed
there.
to be an international city. We're supposed
You're
to be
right. We gotta
a world-class city.
hold ourselves to the highest bar, not the mid
Yeah.
bar, not the average bar. Last week, Cook County State's Attorney Eileen O'Neill Burke announced the creation of yet another regional transit task force. I say yet another mostly because of my feelings about task force, but this is the first RTTF, which will meet for their very first time today. Lee, what exactly is this task force?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, there's already an internal task force that's involved in the CTA, so we don't have to get into the weeds of that. But basically, what this initiative is supposed to do is all the different stakeholders in here, so the CTA, the sheriff's office, Burke's office, state's attorney's office, are supposed to work quickly together to bring cases against felony suspects from arrest to arraignments to basically, prevent danger going on public transportation. My question is kind of, isn't that already their job?
That's when I first saw this together, I was like, y'all got to announce that y'all gonna start working together because y'all weren't working together, or there was
were they not working quickly? Like, do they so many times? Task force is just like anytime you see like blue ribbon committee or task force, it's just sort of it feels very much like. Maybe it's a step in the right direction, or maybe it's something, in this case, Jacoby's, we were saying earlier, Trump and the federal government has threatened to pull federal money from the CTA because of all the crime that's happening on it, which, to be fair, crime overall has actually gone down on the CTA. So I was reading the Trib story that said that police data shows that serious crime is down within the city limits by 24%. But at the same time, there are certain violent crimes like aggravated battery and sexual assaults that are up year over year. So I think what happens is people see these very violent crimes and these very just horrific crimes, right? Like the woman that was doused and lit on fire. And those stick out in people's brains, and it makes it seem like overall that the crime is really, really bad, even though it might be going down by the numbers. So yes, this task force is supposed to deter crime. Burke's office said that those facing less serious charges will be prosecuted as well. And that even though there are programs in place to help those with mental health challenges, misdemeanor prosecutions are still going to happen. The other part of this that I think feels a little toothless is that the state's attorney's office said that they're going to crack down on repeat offenders by pushing for detention. And this is one of those things that seems like it's a backlash to the Safety Act. So, judges now, because of the Safety Act, have more leeway to determine whether they should release a suspect or not. So in the event that a judge releases a suspect, Burke's office could request a stay-away order from the court that would bar that person from using the bus line or train station where the incident occurred. Now, I just don't think in reality this is going to work, because if you are a person who is intent on committing a serious crime, whether that is battery or sexual assault, or you are a person who is struggling with mental illness and, you don't have the capacity to understand, oh, hey, this is the 77 bus and I committed a crime here last time, so I won't take that.
Yeah, I'm like, is their picture going to be on the 77 bus? Like, is their picture going to be in the, at the Roosevelt stop? Like,
I don't know. I have many questions. So it feels like the more I read about this task force, the more questions I have as to how it's going to actually work in practice. And again, it makes it seem like this is just something to appease the federal government and say, oh, hey, no, the CTA is actually doing something to crack down on crime and maybe push back against these more progressive policies in recent years, like the Safety Act, that have also gotten a lot of negative coverage in the national news, you know, especially in Fox and everything. Fox News has used Burke's predecessor, Kim Fox, as this kind of progressive bogeyman for so many years. So this feels like they're attempting to push back on that.
I mean, and since the Safety Act's implementation, the sky has not fallen, right? In the ways that folks have claimed. Recently, CTA had already announced that more police were going to be at platforms and terminals, that they were firing non-armed security. And O'Neill Burke says there are two ways to deter crime: the likelihood of being caught and the likelihood of being punished. So this announcement coming soon after a bus driver was, you know, kidnapped and forced to drive for 6 miles before they were able to escape. Like, that timing is linked up, but I didn't hear in this announcement better protections for bus drivers and CTA employees who I've heard face an increased amount of harassment or intimidation from riders across the city. But I didn't hear anything about infrastructure investments. I didn't hear anything about more violence interrupters. I didn't hear anything about the other ways you can deter crime by providing people more resources, more opportunity. And I know CTA alone doesn't see that as their primary obligation or job description. But if you're announcing a full-scale task force that is supposed to be thinking comprehensively about public safety, and yet you sound like this announcement could have been made in the 70s or the 80s or the 90s because it's police first, prosecution first, deterrence first, I can't help but see this as anything but moving backwards. And whether or not you see that on the ground, or again, if this announcement is just another attempt to appease the federal government, I'm leaning against the latter, because in other moves, it feels that O'Neill Burke really has been utilizing the state's attorney's resources in ways that more align with the federal government and not, focusing more on protesters than agents, focusing more on public safety as it relates to police and prosecution than some of the more progressive policies we saw out of the previous state's attorney's office, and even some of the suggestions from the mayor.
I will say, to your point, Jacoby, where you said since the Safety Act has been implemented, the sky hasn't fallen. I think a big part of why the Safety Act got so much national attention with regards to that CTA incident where the man doused the woman, lit her on fire. His name was Lawrence Reed. And this is from ABC 7 a couple months ago. But prior to that Blue Line arrest, that's where that was committed. He was arrested last August for attacking a social worker while he was a psychiatric patient, and a Cook County judge released him on electronic monitoring under objections from the state's attorney's office. And so again, the Safety Act gives judges that discretion to do that. They can release someone on electronic monitoring. So, that's not quite like the sky has fallen, but it is an example, kind of like what I was saying before, where you have on the CTA this drop in crime, but then you have these really horrific incidents. I feel like that's enough where it sticks out to people and it gets national attention, where people start to question, like, okay, does the Safety Act really work? Does this electronic monitoring work if somebody can still be out and about committing crimes?
It's so funny that you were saying that the crime has gone down, but then I was about to mention the bus driver incident, and I'm just like, I don't know if it is, and if this is getting a little scary. And when I was on here last time, we talked about the task force and stuff like that, and now I'm thinking about it. I have seen more of them, seen more of the people with the canine units and the dogs and things like that, but I just don't know if that is doing what needs to be done, When a tragic incident is put up against the policy, the shock of that incident, the horror of that incident, I think has a way of discounting all of the other ways that the Safety Act, that giving judges discretion, has improved the system, has allowed for people to not be held behind bars simply because they could not afford bail, has allowed for more people to be connected to direct resources. And so I think while these incidents are tragic and we want them to be eliminated, I don't understand how
these metrics would have necessarily prevented the individual on the train. Because sure, even without the Safety Act, maybe they were released, because some of these people, if you look at their records, it predates the Safety Act, and they have been released, and they may have gone on to commit another. But we don't have all those stories of the people who went on to not commit another crime or to be a victim of recidivism and find their way back into custody. And so I look at some of these incidents, when the individual set someone on fire, we had already been in a moment in which there were more police, more unarmed security, more K-9 unit. We have seen more investments when that driver was kidnapped a couple of weeks ago. A lot of these policies had already gone into effect. And so I don't think we can both tout dropping crime numbers and use these tragic incidents as a way to say, are we not doing enough? Like, are they going to take credit for the drop in numbers, or are they going to say we need more police presence for every incident that happens? I think that's where I'm concerned of hate to use the pun here, the runaway train element of this. It feels like in recent months, there's been no signaling of how far does this go, even though I agree with y'all. My head is always on a swivel in this city, right? I have been held at gunpoint. I'm paranoid every day, all day. I just don't want that paranoia to dictate policy if it's not aligned and if it isn't comprehensive.
I know, like, at certain stations, it's really just like, people with mental illnesses who are just around platforms, and that is what it is. But a lot of people are not trained or don't know how to, help in that situation. And I agree with you. I think they should partner with more organizations to allow people to, train and things like that, rather than just like, oh, let's go put some dogs out on the street,
100%.
Yeah. And I will just say anecdotally, like, and I'm actually glad that last month CTA fired the private security force, Monterey Security, because I never understood like the point of private security, because they can't ticket you, they can't really enforce anything. They're just kind of there to watch. Yeah, right. So they're just, frankly, like, I've enforced security about as much as those guys have, probably more on the CTA. And so I didn't really understand that. And I will just say anecdotally, when I have been on the CTA and, I see someone like smoking a cigarette inside the car or something, and the security person is right there, and I say, hey, can you maybe do something about it? It's like I'm asking them to move heaven and earth. Like, they are so annoyed. They're obviously not trained to interact with people who, for whatever reason, don't want to listen to the rules on the CTA. So, like, get people that are trained in mental health, or get people who are trained in, I don't know, de-escalating or something.
I was going to say de-escalating conflict and things like that. Because my question then is like, is that public nuisance of smoking, of playing loud music, even if somebody is just, having a moment where they're talking loudly to themselves, or even, like, how far are they going to go with prosecuting misdemeanors? How much prosecution are they actually going to do on this? If you want to learn more about the new Regional Transit Task Force, please check the links in our show notes. And if you got more questions you want us to get the answers to, please leave us a question at 773-780-0246. The Newberry Library is excited for their ongoing commemoration of the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. They want you to stop by and visit their brand new exhibition, Free and Independent, which includes a July 1776 broadside copy of the Declaration and a handwritten manuscript of the Federalist No. 3. Then you can stop by the reading rooms to view Jefferson's annotated copy of the Federalist and Washington's diary. On June 6th, scholars Danielle Allen and Scott Stevenson will appear at the Newberry in an hour-long conversation to discuss Allen's brand new book, Our Declaration, a reading of the Declaration of Independence in defense of equality, and take a deep dive into the history, impact, and contemporary resonance of the document. As always, exhibitions and programs at the Newberry are free and open to all. Learn more at What's up, Chicago? We got something big coming up that you do not want to miss out on. We are doing a live taping of the podcast. Yes, a live taping for the first time in 4 years. And we're doing it at the brand new Switchyard Chicago in Logan. And if you haven't heard yet, Switchyards is like a co-working space, what they call a neighborhood work club. Place to kick it, get stuff done, connect with your neighbors. And here's the deal. Members of CityCast Chicago get first dibs to attend our live show, and they get a chance to check out the space before it even opens. It's all going down next Thursday, June 4th. Plus, one lucky neighbor will walk away with a free membership to Switchyards. So, to guarantee your spot right now, become a CityCast Chicago neighbor for $10 a month, and you'll get access to this exclusive event and many more. Join now at membership.citycast.fm/Chicago. And if you're already a neighbor, check your email. We sent you an RSVP link. We're going to see you on June 4th. PG, I'm not gonna lie to you. You put this on my radar. It is National Inventors Month, and I think this just gives us another opportunity to talk about Chicago and all of the things we have contributed to the world. What are some of your favorite things that you want to talk about today?
Yes, it is National Inventors Month. And, you know, I was pleased because I was like, okay, let me talk about people who've, you know, invented. And I put creators up in there, too, because when I was going through the Chicago things, I was like, okay, we got some concepts that were created here now. These ain't Chicago people, okay, just to start it off. But my first couple creators / inventors are Dr. I think is okay, pronunciation, Felipe Guy Woog. He is credited for inventing the electric toothbrush. And so, you know, we love that. Dental hygiene, we need it. Adam Osborne is credited as the person who invented the laptop, which I'm not, here we are. Okay, here we are. And then for my own personal little, you know, fun, you know what I'm saying? This person's name is Scott Dunlap. He is the creator of my guilty pleasure, the Real Housewives franchise. Okay, don't judge me. Don't judge me. It's okay.
If Chicago or the Chicagoland got a Real Housewives, what neighborhood, suburb, where would it be? Where should it be centered? Where's ground zero?
Thank you for asking me this question, Jacoby. Thank you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Now, the thing about Chicago, because they have tried here, y'all, I'm finna give y'all tea. They tried here, but apparently they say all the girls was born. So the thing about Chicago is I think they was looking in the wrong places. I think they looked out in the burbs, like, because let's be real, that is where some of the money at. They want to showcase the wealth. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of those girls, like
Real Housewives of Winnetka.
You know what I'm saying? But that's not Chicago. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing about in Chicago. We got girls here that got money, got the wealth, that got the background and stuff. Chicago, we don't like to showcase our wealth like that. And I get it, though. We not like a New York or a California where we be like, money, money, money. No, we kind of be like, oh, girl, I got money, but I'm just cute about it. You know what I'm saying? So they said it was boring here. They couldn't find nothing.
I don't know. Have you been to the Playpen?
No, what's that?
What?
That's the spot in Lake Michigan where all the yachts get together and link up together.
Those people like to show off their money. You could do like real housewives
PJ, you ain't
or
been out
real
in the
girlfriends of Gold Coast.
Now, you know, I can't swim, so I don't really do that. Okay. All right. Ooh. From a distance, okay? But, you know, I was looking through Chicago and I'm like, what have we brought to the world? You know what I'm saying? So I was looking first into the food category because, you know, we are the land of food, okay? Fun. So some things I didn't know. The brownie was created here in Chicago by Bertha Palmer. Yes, in 1893, and it was at the Chicago World Fair.
Last week. I won't lie to you. I was walking past, and I was like, "Damn, let me check." I stopped in, and they sell them inside the little corner market inside.
Ooh,
the Palmer House is still that bitch. Walk inside of there, that mug still gorgeous, still showstopper. But yes, I had the brownie and it was
love
still good.
it.
I haven't had it in years since me and Simone went to the Palmer House, met with their chef, went into their kitchen, looked at the recipe, and got a couple specials. I haven't had it since then. Still hits. It was good.
Is it a classic brownie or is it a brownie with like chocolate chips inside of it?
I feel like it's more classic brownie and like it's like an apricot nutty
Yeah,
top,
like
on top,
yeah,
like a little spread
nut
on top.
top on the
okay.
top and stuff.
Very
And
good.
yes, I mean I'm vegan, so I can't eat it. But shout out to y'all that can, okay? But that's one of the ones. Another one, and the probably the girl, okay? Mild sauce, okay? You know what I'm saying? A Chicago staple, you know what I'm saying?
I've never had mild sauce.
Nope. Stop the conversation.
Sorry.
Stop the
It's
conversation.
okay, listen. The real battle is where you get it from, because like some people like Harold's, some people
Right.
like Uncle Remus. You know what I'm saying? So it's just where you want to.
Some people like Sharks or JJ's.
Oh, true. Now, see, I was introduced through Uncle Remus, but I prefer Harold's. That's just me.
Uncle Remus's mild sauce sounds like some Harry Potter shit.
That's why we gotta have Lee here. Like,
I'm sorry, that's really white. Everybody listening to this is going to be like, oh,
I appreciate
man.
the connotative listening. You heard that and said, I bet that is a West Side staple. But to me, I just heard Valara Malugas.
Like Uncle Remus. I don't know. It just sounds like he's like a distant cousin of the Weasleys. Uncle Remus is mild sauce.
It's going to take you to a magical land when you try it on that chicken, okay? I'm just letting you know.
I like how you brought that back.
I'm just letting you know.
Lee, you ain't had a 6-piece fried hard with mild sauce and salt and pepper?
No, I haven't.
Come on, we gotta get you a 6-piece, Lee. Come on.
I know.
I missed that.
Yeah.
Eat it for me.
I do.
Okay?
I will.
Jesus.
I mean, I'll tear up chicken anytime.
Let me know next time you're going to be at the farmer's market. I'll pull up on you with a 6-piece, G.
Oh, my God. Please. Yeah.
Oh,
we'll do a trade. I'll give you
love.
some croissants and you can.
BJ can't even get through 3 things. We just said brownies, mouse sauce. We gonna give y'all the recipe to everything he put down today.
Okay. And then, so if we head on to the entertainment world, so I saw that the first soap opera was also here in Chicago. So it was called Painted Dreams, and it was a radio drama. And the woman who created it, she was a staff writer at WGN, and she created, I think they wanted her to create program geared toward women. And the reason soap operas are called that is because soap manufacturer was like the people that were sponsoring it and who were and I guess that's why they call them soap operas and everything like that. And then she also wrote Guiding Light, As the World Turns, Another World, and then Love is a Many Splendor Thing. So, shout out to the soap operas from here, because if your granny watched soap operas like mine did, a little chill. What is it? General Hospital?
General Hospital,
God, yeah.
Sunny, All My Children.
All My Children. That's who I knew.
My mom still watches those, and everybody who's a big star, she knows like every single person, and she'll be like, and you know where they got their start?
Yeah.
But like name somebody and they got their start. If their career started like 20 years ago, they probably had a role on a soap opera.
It was soap opera before Law
Shout
and
out
Order.
to the soap operas. Then we had, something I love, the Compass Players that started in 1955. That was like, the first introduction to improv. And then once that closed, that's when some of the people went and started Second City. And, Second City is Second City, okay? I am, happy to say I have too been employed there, okay? So, Chicago definitely is the birthplace of, in my personal opinion, it's the birthplace of comedy. I don't care what nobody say, like, all of it here, you know what I'm saying? And then I also saw that we have here the automatic dishwasher started here. It was invented by Josephine Garris Cochran. And basically she said, I don't want to wash these. She said, I don't want to wash these dishes after I've been entertaining and after all these people have been in my house. So guess what? If I can't do it, I'm finna make something that do it. It take a woman, okay, to say, I'm gonna fix it. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry. That's a woman's motto. Don't even worry about it because she's gonna get it done. Love it.
Come on.
Love it. Love it. Love it. And then we also have other things like the Ferris wheel. It was constructed in Jackson Park in the winter of 1892, and of course the Ferris wheel we have at Navy Pier's modeled after that. And I heard it is slightly bit elevated, which scares me. But I haven't been on there in a hot minute though. We also have another Chicago staple, and I'm gonna wrap it up with this: the Pizza Puff. Okay, in 1976, okay, experimented with tortilla dough in hopes of finding a wrapper that could hold a spicy pizza flavored roll. And then they perfected it in around 1976, and it was added in a lineup here in Chicago at the restaurant. I forgot the name of it here, but. Yes, we started a lot of trends. Chicago is the city, and of course we got things like, juke music started here, which of course came from the house music, and we got so many things here, and I just wanted to, give some love to the city and talk about some of the amazing things that started here.
I'm glad you mentioned a pizza puff, because if you smash a pizza puff with some mild sauce and then give me a brownie to finish it off, like I'm in heaven.
I also have not had a
that's
pizza
beautiful.
puff either.
Lee, I'm about to jump through the camera. Lee,
Oh my goodness!
Okay, so
you
pizza
have
puff-
to get one.
You ain't
Wait.
had no pizza puff. I'm
gotta-
assuming you
It's
ain't had
like
no home
a
of the hoagie.
pastry.
A pizza puff.
It's like a pastry with a pizza in it. Like literally sauce.
You got to look it up, Lee.
Okay, this is. I don't know how to feel about this.
What you mean?
No, try
It's
it
a
out.
Pop
Come on,
Tart
photos that I'm
it's a Pop
seeing of
Tart
it.
with cheese and meat in it.
Boom.
I'm getting some that look like egg rolls here, and I'm getting some that look more
Oh
like.
no, it looks like a open face
Okay.
It should look a mess.
Here's the thing. I love the food in Chicago, but
Mhm.
I don't necessarily like the food, with the exception of a Chicago dog. Like, I don't love
Mhm.
deep dish. I don't love tavern. What's another thing? Like, I don't love Italian beef.
Oh my god.
I know, I just sort of like-
they finna eat you
Oh.
up.
I know. People are gonna come. People are gonna come at me.
It's love to you.
And guess what? I will say that I will eat like jardiniere on its own.
Okay.
I love eating a condiment on its own. Not
To be
a condiment,
honest, after
but, like,
everything else you said, that actually I could have predicted that one.
how did you know?
I don't know. You just seem like some pickled peppers, and that just seemed like you're
That's delicious.
I still want you to try the pizza puff though. I just really
I'll
want
try
you to
it.
try just a little
I'll
bit of
try
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
okay.
just bring you a
like
whole
mild sauce with the
Harold
chicken sounds
smorgasbord. Yeah.
way better, to be honest.
That you get it from the same place. You go to Harold's, you get you the 6-piece, you get the pizza puff, you get it
Okay.
all together.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
get all that in one: the Italian beef, the pizza puff, the mild sauce, the fries, all of it.
I'm gonna take my friend to Carm's when he comes to visit in like 2 weeks, and I had to like go and find, places to find Italian beef because he's like, "Oh, I watched The Bear, and I have to have Italian beef in Chicago," and I'm like, I
The
don't
Bear.
even know.
You're like, I'm
The
not the
first-
right
it's-
friend for you.
No, I'm not, because I'm not going out to have Italian. There's no time in my life where I'm like, what would hit right now? Some wet meat.
But sometimes it do. Okay.
Yeah.
This National Inventors Month came around at the right time because I just saw a video from Dilla. Somebody made him do like a rapid fire. Some of the best things Chicago ever gave the world. And some things on there included Twinkies, cell phones, remotes, kidney transplant, open heart surgery, skyscrapers, some of my favorites, Harlem Globetrotters, 16-inch softball, Bozos, Finguli, Jet, Ebony, Soul Train. We can keep going on and on and on and on. But yeah, I want to hear from y'all. What are some of y'all favorite Chicago inventions? 773-780-0246. Something that was created here, something that was perfected here, someone who was born and raised here gave to the rest of the world. Please let us know. Again, 773-780-0246. Lee, did you give me a favorite invention?
I was also going to say the dishwasher, because I just feel like if you're a little bit lazy, it's
Fuck them
amazing. But what's really funny? When I was looking that up, I guess before Josephine Cochran, There was this guy, Joel Houghton, and he had a machine in 1850, but this is according to University of Michigan. It was a machine that, quote, simply splashed water on dishes. And I feel like that is exactly the way that a man would approach that, where he was just like, yeah, we'll just splash some water on it. And then Josephine Cochran came along and was like,
that's nasty.
No, that's disgusting. You're just going to splash some gross water on it and call it a day? We're going to wash it. We're going to add soap to it. It's like when you go to a guy's house and he has like Purell in the bathroom and they're like, oh, it's the same thing.
No, not at all.
Josephine
somebody
Cochran,
who
the
puts
first
water,
baddie.
who puts some water at the end of the thing and just shake it up and just make you use suds water.
Just a little bit at the end.
Nah, that's nasty. That's some nasty.
Yeah. So
she
thank
said,
you
let's
to the real
not be
dishwasher.
trifling. Okay, let's actually wash the dishes. Because we have to eat on these later. Like, let's not be dumb. Come on, Josephine. She deserves.
A couple other things: birth control, first U.S. blood bank.
Ooh.
Shout out to the Heberito spray paint, apparently. And so there's plenty to pick from. If we somehow missed it, please let us know. But I want to give a huge thank you to our guest today, PJ Walker. Thank you for stopping by.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun, as always.
And until next time, Lee John Greco, always a pleasure.
Hey, thanks again, Jacoby.
Up next, we got a segment for members only. It's our weekly chat where you get a peek behind the scenes into what the team is talking about. And spoiler, we talking about food again. We also got some debates about pizza puffs. In addition to bonus segments every single week, CityCast Chicago neighbors are getting ad-free listening and exclusive invites to members-only events like this live taping we got coming up on June 4th. If you a member listening, I got the details for you right now. But if you're not and you want to pull up, become a neighbor at membership.citycast.fm/Chicago. Hey, if the merch wasn't enough, if the tours weren't enough, maybe coming to see us do what we do live in person might persuade you. We gonna see. For everybody listening, if you want more CityCast Chicago, then head over to chicago.citycast.fm. Sign up for our daily newsletter, catch up on old podcast episodes, and make sure you bookmark our events calendar. One thing you might find on there, some good news. The Chicago Sky's 4-game homestand continues tomorrow against the Toronto Tempo before finishing off Friday against the Link. For tickets, please check the link in our show notes. We are going to be back bright and early tomorrow, looking back on some big stories from the week. Hopefully you'll join us. Peace.
It's okay. Listen, now, the real battle is not